Yes, another one. So here we have Jin Sean is interested in going to McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario, or University of Guelph in Guelph, Ontario for the business program. For post-secondary education, she knows that the distance between Toronto to Hamilton is 70 kilometers and between Hamilton to Guelph is 52 kilometers respectively. The angle formed between Toronto and Guelph from Hamilton is 82 degrees. Now, Jinshuan would like to know how far would a drive be from Toronto to Guelph. Okay, so the diagram is already given partially for us here. So what we want to do is connect this part of the diagram, and basically that is going to be the distance that Jinshuan would need to drive from Toronto to Guelph. So we're just going to call this one small h, okay, because here across from the angle h, right, we call that a smaller lowercase h, okay. And we also given that the distance between Toronto to Hamilton is 70 kilometers, which is 70 kilometers over here, and between Hamilton and Guelph is 52 kilometers, so that is 52 kilometers. And the angle formed between Toronto and Guelph from Hamilton is 82 degrees, so that means that that is this angle here at 82 degrees. Okay, so now our labeled diagram is complete, and we need to answer the question. Now, if you remember from trigonometry, right? So this is a non-right angle triangle, so it must be either sine law or cosine law that we are, going to use to solve this question. Note that all of these are given right here, right? So we have this side length and this side length, and we have the contained angle over here. This is the sandwich situation, right? So this is sandwich between these two distance, these two lengths right here. So we're going to use cosine law, okay? So we're going to apply cosine law, okay? So in this case, we need to solve for h. So our cosine law is going to be h squared is equal to, this right here is small g, and this right here is small t. Okay, so let's just write down our formula first before solving for h here. Okay, so we should have t squared plus g squared minus 2tg and cos of our angle h, right? So in this case, angle h is also given, so we're good. So now let's sub in our numbers, right? So 52 kilometers plus 70 kilometers minus 2 times 52 times 70 cos of our angle h, which is 82. Okay, so make sure we plug in our calculators here carefully. And don't forget to set the calculator in degrees mode, otherwise we're going to get the wrong answer. Okay, so 52 squared, plug that in your calculator. That's going to be 2704. 70 squared is 4900. Okay, next we're going to do this part right here and then cos 82. Okay, so 2 times 52 times 70 times, well, we're going to do that after. So 7280 cos 82 degrees. Okay, so next step right here, you can actually plug all this in at once, and that's also acceptable. Okay, so we're just going to do all of that right now. Okay, so 2704 plus 4900 minus 7280 cos of, oops, pressed the wrong button, minus 2 times 5270 2 times 52 times 70 times cos of 82. Okay, just be careful when you plug in your calculator. Yeah, so right here, I'm actually going to write the result, right? But keep in mind that it might be a little bit off when you are when you're rounding at the end, right? But I'm just going to keep all my decimals here. And next step, we're going to square root both sides. In this case, remember, we only want the positive answer because we're dealing with distance, right? So here, if you plug that in your calculator, square root of the answer, you should get, it is approximately 81.1838. So we want it into one decimal place. So it's going to be about 81.2 kilometers. Okay, so we're going to say our therefore. Don't forget our therefore. The distance from Toronto, excuse my handwriting here, to Guelph is about 81.2 kilometers. I hope this helps you. Stay tuned for more.